What is going on, guys? It's Reflex here, and I've been wanting to make this video a little bit. It's actually kind of like a sequel to a video I made around 7 months ago. Basically, in that video I said people are making their expectations way too high, as well as when the game releases, are people going to release and take off those Kingdom Hearts 2 nostalgia goggles or whatever nostalgia goggles you have on when you play this game. And the thing is, at this point in time, all the flaws that people say Kingdom Hearts 3 has, and some of them are right, some of them are just kind of based on opinion, but regardless of what you think the flaw is, my honest opinion, I think the biggest problem that Kingdom Hearts 3 had was us. And I know that sounds weird, but just hear me out. The biggest problem is that people set their standards and expectations way too high, and I get it. You know, whether you waited 6 years for this game to release or whether you waited 13 years for this game to release, because people's situations are different. But regardless how long you waited, normally a long wait of that magnitude equates to, you know, your expectations being higher over the years. And add that with the 2018 Kingdom Hearts 3 godlike year that we had, of just getting trailer after trailer after trailer and then demos popping out everywhere. You know, that's going to higher your expectations as well, but I think people hire them to a point where no matter how good the game was going to be, and I'm not saying the game was perfect. I'm not saying the game was perfect at all. I mean, after playing it again, you know, for a second time, my rating did kind of drop, you know, but it was my own little, you know, kind of the way I thought the game was, you know, but I honestly do believe for some people, I've seen, this doesn't, you know, go to everyone. This does not like point to every single person, because not everyone thought of it this way. But for a majority of people, their expectations were way too high. And I mean, I literally guessed what was going to happen about this whole situation back then. I said, as soon as the game drops, it's going to be an interesting way to see how things are going to play out, because literally days after the game released, Kingdom Hearts 2 stands, and I'm not saying it was a bad idea to compare the game. Obviously, you want to compare it to godlike combat, or you want to compare it to, you know, storytelling of a different game. But the thing is, it was compared to Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix so much in that little bit of time that it released, that it was getting so annoying, but it never made sense of what they were like starting to compare to. Combat was the only thing I thought it made sense to compare, because the game was finally out. We all got a chance to feel the combat, you know. That was the one thing that made sense. But then we started, well, not we, I did not, but then people started comparing the lack of post game, the lack of, you know, like secret bosses, the lack of just stuff to do on the side. And the thing is, Kingdom Hearts has never been that type of series where the base game has so much to offer. And I get that after 6 years or 13 years, whatever it may be, you've been waiting for this game. That does not mean you should have thought that they were going to change their formula. And it's not their fault that they didn't. You know, it's our fault that we expected them to, for the people that expected them to do that. For the people that were mad that there was, you know, not enough secret bosses, or mad that there wasn't any Final Fantasy characters, which I was mad about that. But I mean, they still technically made an appearance, and they still have a chance to. But, you know, mad about any of the lack of post-game content that I've seen. It's never been that way in any Kingdom Hearts game. It's never been that way. And the thing is, we had to wait. It always was like we had to wait until the final mix was ready. And Nomura literally told us that that was the plan. Literally, I think 6 months before it came out, he said that, and I would try to find this interview, but I made a video about it, so you guys can go back and try to find that. I'm not going to go that much in depth about it, but he literally said, I'm not going to do a season pass of this game. I'm going to do like one big DLC drop. And he made numerous interviews after that talking about this so-called DLC, like one big one to drop, and that's all you're going to get. And he said this throughout so many interviews. And the thing is, we still expected, like, after hearing that, you should have known that we were not going to get a lot. One secret boss, that makes sense now. One, like, not a lot of post-game stuff, still makes sense now. And the thing is, it really is up to what you did throughout the game, because honestly, I had a lot of post-game stuff to do, because after I beat the game, that's when I started doing the Fantastic 7, you know, finding all the synthesis stuff, the gummy ships, the gummy secret bosses and all. That's when I started doing all that. So my post-game content was different than others just because it's how you really see it and it's how you play it. Now, obviously that doesn't really, it's not technically post-game, but there still was post-game stuff you can do, and that's facts. But the fact that there's people that expected the game to go away from its formula, I get it, we're in 2019, but just cause times changed does not mean the game's main formula is going to change. It's never been that way. And when we get so many interviews that are telling us that he's still going to go with the old formula, that should have told you right then and there that you weren't going to get that. And then move that out of the way about the complaining of the post-game content. Then you got people that are complaining about the ending, and I get it, that's a matter of opinion, but the thing is about waiting 6 or 13 years, over that time, even with all those games, the side games that we got, where it was telling the story and like inching you forward for the Xehanort saga, people then started making a narrative of what they wanted the story to end up like. They started making the way they wanted it to end. So then they were hyping up their own ending in their head. So then what they ended up getting was not exactly what they wanted, and therefore they were let down because of the ending, because their expectations were so high. And this goes with literally anything about the game, whether you thought, you know, the Disney worlds are going to be, you know, certain, you know, up to a certain level, or you thought the graphics were going to be up to a certain level, the combat was going to be up to a certain level. Everyone had expectations that just soared through the roof. Now, for the people that kept them low key, congrats to you, because you did not let any of this hinder your experience. You played it, you enjoyed it, or you didn't enjoy it, but regardless, your expectations were realistic. They weren't crazy, they were just realistic. And for the people that didn't wear nostalgia goggles throughout this thing and was throughout the whole entire game thinking, man, compared to Kingdom Hearts 2 or compared to Kingdom Hearts 1 or compared to this, you can compare it after you beat it, but experience Kingdom Hearts 3 when you're playing Kingdom Hearts 3, you know? Don't experience Kingdom Hearts 2 or Kingdom Hearts 1 or this and that while you're playing Kingdom Hearts 3. Experience the game itself. It's its own game. It's not Kingdom Hearts 2, it's not Kingdom Hearts 1, it is Kingdom Hearts 3. And that is the biggest issue, is that expectations were made so high. Like, it's like people wanted the game to be Kingdom Hearts 2, that, you know, those people that really enjoyed that game and they played it, it was like, this is nothing like Kingdom Hearts 2. They were not happy. And I mean, it's such a weird situation, because obviously this is my opinion, but I do believe that this is the biggest issue. It honestly is the biggest issue in my eyes. And I know it sounds like I'm rambling, I probably am, but I just wanted to make this video because when Kingdom Hearts 3 dropped, it was supposed to be the happiest time. It should have been the happiest time for at least, I would say, at least a week. But instead, it was nothing but negativity when it dropped. A week later, a month later. I mean, we're almost a month after the release, and it still feels like it's just so negative throughout the whole entire community. And it's depressing because there was no honeymoon phase for this game. And normally there is, and I'm not saying a honeymoon phase is a good thing. I mean, and personally, in my opinion, I think it's an excuse to not speak your mind. But this game did not have a honeymoon phase. I mean, there was known YouTubers that were trashing this game before we even got it. And that was kind of depressing. But, you know, it's so just crazy how this game was, the opinions on it and everything. And I don't know, it's weird. And maybe I'm biased and I just wanted everyone to experience the game, but, you know, in a very great way. But in my opinion, I just still think that the main killer of Kingdom Hearts 3 was the expectation levels of the fans. I mean, that's really what I think. Hopefully you guys understand what I was saying. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much. But if you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I will try to get my upload schedule back to normal, but working 12-hour shifts. And even when I have those 3 days off, I want to spend it with family. I want to play with friends and all that, and that leaves 1 day to record. Now obviously I gotta figure out a way to record in those time frames, but it's difficult to find that ground, and I'm still working on it. But just wish me the best of luck. I'm gonna try to inch my way back, and when I do, expect my comeback to be as good as ever, because I'll upload daily again, or at least every other day or something. But just expect to come back in the near future. But hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and you guys know the drill. I will see you guys later.